Well, hello there, friends and family. Glad to see you again. Now, you might wonder why we're out here in the Focus. Well, it's April 14th, and tomorrow's April 15th, which is tax day. Now, I do know the federal government has waived taxes for the 15th and postponed the 17th, but unfortunately here in my state of Alabama, the state hasn't done the same. And like always, even though Trixie tells me not to, I procrastinate till, the day before to finalize my taxes. And it's not like I'm a wealthy man or got a whole lot of money. I just hate paying taxes. I really do. But I do understand they are necessary. Gotta have roads, gotta have all kinds of things. Some things I don't agree with, some I do. But gotta get her done. And something I started a long time ago was, since today, day before, as I finalize everything, it's so stressful enough, I don't cook. No. In fact, this is one of those days when I run out and pick something up so I can munch on it while I'm putting those finishing touches on that old IRS forms, not only for federal government, but state government too. So that's where we're going to be heading off to, and I just thought, well, if y'all want to jump in the car, it ain't going to be much. We'll take on off, pick something up. Maybe it's something you haven't had in a while, and if you're a senior citizen living on a fixed income or whatever, you might want to consider too. It's tasty, nutritious, and in my mind, still a bargain. So hey, jump on in, buckle up, y'all be nice. We'll take a little ride and pick up something for tax day, okay? So I'm sure you can also see we're overcast today. We got some storms coming in, and we've had some light rain. Not nothing to be concerned about, thankfully. But may have more severe later on. So far, the more severe weather is hugging down on the coast, and I'm thankful for that. I'm hoping we don't get a lot of rain right now because the yard's still so soaked up. Old Mr. Tom can't get out there and get the grass mowed again. Keep people off me. God forgive I have any wildfires this year. And as a few of you said, still probably got a few Karens out there that just want to make, people's lives miserable. Look at that dogwood right there. That is simply beautiful. And as you can see, everything's all nice and green. And even though it's been raining a whole bunch, we'll have rain. I told you about that 3 inches we got just, a couple days back. Got pretty severe, straight line winds and everything. Fortunately, we didn't have a whole lot of damage, just, some limbs pick up. I mean, hey, anytime you live in our trees, you're going to have limbs to pick up. I'm just saying, in case that's your dream too, like it was mine. A little white cottage under the oaks. Everything has its pros, and everything has its cons. And if you're wondering what time it is, and these nice gray overcast skies, it's about to be 4:30. So we will find some traffic here. But I know it's been a while since we took a little drive about, and many of y'all enjoy that. Some don't care for it. But if you don't keep the car up, keep your spirits up, yep. I had my first shot in vaccine and all that, but I ain't gonna get it all wild. Nope. I'm still taking all precautions. And that may not be real popular, but that's what I'm doing. I'm taking it safe. Maybe history will prove me right, maybe it won't. Now, I've never been about making history, though. No. And when it was lightly raining today, like always when it rains, I had a song come to mind, and I know many of y'all know it. It was actually written and produced and sang by the Cascades. Yep, sure was. Do you know what that song was? I can remember buying it on a 45 RPM record. You remember them? You had to have that adapter that went on your record player that you stuck in it, so you put it on the regular, narrow spindle. And yep, that song was "Listen to the Rhythm of the Falling Rain, telling me what a fool I've been." Yep, that was it. Now I can't sing the whole thing. Well, I could, but YouTube would slap me on the left cheek, slap me on the right cheek, and then stomp on me and give me a copyright strike. So we don't want that, because I already got one. I get another one now. I'm just one way of YouTube taking away my channel, which since I and they are not making any money, they'd probably be okay with. But you can see the traffic. This is our rush hour in Tallahassee. Now, don't be laughing. I know any of y'all who live in bigger cities are going, yeah, right. Well, I've lived there too, and I'm glad I don't no more. Now, I'm sure there's a little bit of junk on the windshield. You'll just have to pardon it. See, that's all about life. I don't fix my hair, put on makeup, make sure I got all clean tailored clothes, clean the earwax out of my ears, make sure my nose hairs are trimmed and all that before I come on video. Like, I don't even wash the windshield. I run them wiper blades back and forth, and I still need to get them replaced. As you can tell, right there. Such is real life, right? Now, I'm sure, somebody, well, I keep up with everything. Yeah, good for you. I don't do that so much. Life goes on. I can remember the day when our windshield wipers were driven by vacuum. You go up a hill, the windshield wipers slow way down. Then once you got on top, they'd speed up a little bit. And when you went downhill, remember, they'd go like mad. Thank God we come up with electricity, right? Now they're coming along with new high school. We got a picture of it. It's going to be fancy. Yep, it's going to look similar to the old one, which we'll all miss, because I think now they've decided they're going to take it down. All things in life must change. I mean, look at this traffic. We must have, like 8 or 10 cars backed up. Now, you might wonder where we're going. Well, we're going to go right here. Little Caesars. Oh, yeah. Yep. We're going to pick us up a quick pizza, we are. Right behind this here whatever kind of Jeep. Which, he's practicing social distancing in his vehicle. Or she. And why did I want to get a pizza today? Well, I enjoy pizza. I make those little bitty tiny ones. Mrs. P's for 77 cents. Of course, I jazz them all up, so they are gourmet once I'm finished. And I do have a couple squirreled away in the freezer when I really don't feel like cooking anything. But it's the night before tax day, and a few people, not many but a couple, were so kind to send me nice cards and letters, which I truly appreciate. I read them all, and I save them all. And I will read them again, some I have. And the reason I save them because I think my daughter will definitely appreciate and read them, you know, later on in years. You know, maybe Papa Tom ain't here no more. She loves that kind of stuff. And of course I do too. But anyway, and it's never required. And I really don't want y'all doing this because I know y'all are, you know, just like me, living on a little bit, fixed incomes, struggling, wondering about, you know, for most of us, we may not see a steak here for quite some time. You know, I had a good friend of mine. He's got a YouTube channel that was telling a story about a man who hadn't had a ribeye steak since he could remember. And to this young man, and I figure both of them are rather young in comparison to me, by, you know, 10, 14, 15 years, this was a big deal to them. But it made me think, when's the last time I've had a ribeye steak? When is the last time any of y'all saw me buy a ribeye steak? It's got to been over, probably haven't had a ribeye steak myself in 4 or 5 years. Now, I truly do love them. But I'm not, you know, people done got stupid. They're the most high-priced steak. In some places, they're even more expensive than a filet mignon. But I've showed you in many videos, if you want to get the best bang for your buck, you want to get a T-bone. Yep. And if you look and make sure that one side, which has the filet on it, and if you haven't watched the video, you should, you'll learn something. And that, looking at the steak, one side has the filet on it. Yep, same cut as filet mignon. And the other side has a New York strip. I mean, there ain't no steak where you can't get 2 prime cuts for the price of one. And T-bone's normally cheaper than New York strip, and definitely cheaper than filet mignon. And you know, one of the things here with Little Caesars is it ain't the fastest, you know, because some people are going to order something that they might not have, you know, right there hot and ready yet. Normally, when I drop on in, which is rare, extremely, I just whip up and they said, "What do you want, Mr. Tom?" And I said, "I want one of them hot and readies," which is basically a pepperoni and cheese pizza. You know, used to be square, now it's round. And it used to be $5, now it's $6.49. But that's okay too. I mean, you go to our regular grocery store and buy you a good frozen pepperoni cheese pizza that's tasty, and you gonna pay $4 or $5. Yeah, it's at the house. I mean, you can, God forbid you throw it in the microwave, but maybe toaster oven or your regular oven, I would suggest. And you know, you can wear your jammies and all that, or be naked if that's what you want to. Of course, I mean, hell, anymore people wear their jammies and all kinds of things I wouldn't wear outdoors when they go outside anyway, in their cars and shopping and that. And of course, most of y'all remember Mama always telling you make sure you had clean underwear on before you left the house. Now, I do that. Of course, Mama always reiterated socks with no holes. And for those of you as old as me, you'll know we had our work clothes, our play clothes, and our school clothes. And if we were working out in the gardens, farm, or whatever, we didn't have our school clothes on, not unless we wanted to get tanned on the backside. And our play clothes were just one step above work clothes. And of course, everything matched. I mean, as far as wear, you know, right down to the underwear and socks and what have you. I remember how Mama had our drawers separated, you know, in our chest. We had a drawer for school clothes, and then of course, you know, our collared shirts and all that she ironed was in the closet, along with our school slacks that she ironed. Were in the closet. But school underwear was in a certain row, as were socks and t-shirts, no stains. And then there was, play clothes. Not as good as school clothes, but not quite as bad as work clothes. And then, in another drawer, there'd be those things that were all stained up, tears, holes, patches, what have you. And those were our work clothes. And there wasn't no argument. You got home, you changed your clothes depending on what you was going to do. Of course, we always had to get our homework done first. But before we get our homework done, depending on chores, of course I always had chores, Mama would tell us, getting your play clothes, change your clothes, or getting your work clothes. As I got older, she knew she didn't even need to tell me. But I mean, today the line ain't moving too bad. Now I hope many of y'all ain't bored out of your brain. Listen to the old man ramble while we're here waiting on our Little Caesars pizza. Cause I'm getting home, have a couple slices. There ain't gonna be much. About all Mr. Tom can eat anymore is about 2, maybe 3. And of course I picked some meat off for Trixie, Grace, and the kitty crew. And then basically I have cheese pizza left for me. I love my kitty crew to death, so I don't mind. I mean, Lord, people ordering, breadsticks now, which ain't nothing but pizza crust, seasoned, and, maybe a little bit of tomato sauce and possibly some cheese sprinkled over. So I don't mind. So I'll take a few slices, pick all the meat off for them. And guess what? They love it to death. And I'll sit out front and I'll just watch them devour it. Of course, now Trixie and Gracie gonna get theirs first, because Trixie's the queen and Gracie by default is the princess in waiting to be the queen. And she is a little monster. She's my little carpet monster. Woo, I forgot how fast little younger cats can go. Jump, scramble around. She is like, she's on steroids. But she loves me to death. When it's time to go to sleep, she gotta come find Papa. Curl up and go to sleep too. Well, they still wearing masks, even though the mask mandate is lifted on the 9th. And to be extra safe, old Mr. Tom's gonna put on his. Judge me if you wish, don't care. Now, what we're gonna be picking up, we're gonna try to get us one of them Ultimate Supremes. Oh yeah. It's $11, but it's got veggies on it, It's got mushrooms and black. Oh, it's just got all kinds of nice stuff. Because, I mean, it is pizza. At least let's try to, bump it up to a little healthy. It is pizza, okay? But if they don't have one hot and ready, we'll just drop down and get we'll see if they got a 3 meat treat. Because the kitty crew would really like that. Or a extra mostest bestest $7 thin crust, which is basically cheese and pepperoni on real thin crust. I ain't too much into eating a whole lot of bread. Maybe y'all are. But here we go.
Yes, sir.
You got one of them Ultimate Supremes?
Huh?
You got an Ultimate Supreme?
Oh, we don't keep those ready.
You don't?
It will take about 8 minutes to cook you one.
Okay, you got a 3 meat treat?
I got pepperoni right now and a pepperoni cheese bread ready.
You got a what?
A classic pepperoni and some pepperoni cheese bread.
Classic pepperoni then.
$5.50.
$5.50. There you go, sir.
There you go.
Y'all just keep change. Appreciate y'all. Thanks, sir.
You have a blessed day.
You too. Well, as you can see, I learned something today. They don't keep the Ultimate Supreme hot and ready, or the classic meat treat. So, we had to go with the classic. Now, I know a lot of people get all upset, tore up. Well, their website said, well, I could have put the order in, and I thought about it. But normally, this is what I get. The classic, you know, pepperoni and cheese, which is a good pizza, by the way. And you heard. Now, it's not $5 anymore. I thought it was $6.49, but it's $5.50. And I'll show you when we get home. It's a pile of pizza, and it is tasty. So we're gonna head on back another way, just so you can see things. We're gonna take the long way. Oh, Super Boots, doing good business. Yep, plenty of plants out there. You know, I need to get by and check out the plant selection. You know, I'm way behind on my gardening. So I'm thinking, now I do have a few tomato plants started, but they just do to be tiny things. You know, I didn't do like a whole lot of people that I watched on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook that, you know, started their tomatoes, well, all their seed starts way too early. And then they got to be way long, leggy, falling over. They lost a bunch of them. They got root bound. I didn't do all that. I here again, took a safe approach. You know, they said here in my area that you're always safe if you make sure you plant after Good Friday. But I wasn't ready for that either, because, you know, I've been doing other things, you know, like clearing the property. So, I may buy a few plant starters. But I ain't going to be putting in much, so it ain't going to be much money. I bet I don't spend $20, $30. I bet I don't even spend $20. Because it don't take much for me. Do I need 30 tomato plants? No. I need 2 or 3. That'd be plenty. You know, maybe a cherry or 2. And a couple of slicers. And I'm good to go. Because I like to eat them fresh. I'm not going to be doing a whole bunch of canning this year. Why? Because I got canned food up to the yin and the yang. And I need to start eating all that stuff up. Or at least eat it down to where, you know, I'm at least within 2 or 3 years of the best buy date. Ooh, it really has got green. Look at that one. I mean, it's sort of so green, you know, you're just overwhelmed with greenness, but you can see a bunch of nice violet flowers out there. The city needs to come by and cut these right-of-ways, by the way. Ooh, look at this yard up here on the left. Now they got it going on. Ooh, that's pretty. All that white, rose-colored. Those are azaleas, by the way. Oh, that pizza be smelling good. I know when I get in the house what Trixie's going to be wanting. Even though I'm not sure if it's good for her or not, but she just loves pepperoni. Now Gracie, she don't know whether to play with it, kill it, or eat it. She just sort of sits there and watch what Trix does first. Now Spooky, Cleo, and Speedy, oh, they'll jump on pepperoni like there ain't no tomorrow. You know, like they dogs. Oh my. Now you might wonder why I got a hot and ready pizza and then I'm just, you know, driving the back way, which is going to take longer than going the front way. It ain't that long, because Towsy ain't that big. Well, Lord, we got those speed bumps now everywhere, where at least they're kind enough over in this neighborhood to city to put up a sign. Over my neighborhood, they don't warn you. If you ain't on top of your game, when you hit them, your back teeth start to wobble. Or maybe this is something new, since people have hit them and tore up their car. As you can see, they're rather aggressive. But you know, it's a shame we even got to do it in the first place. Well, they cleaned up their place. Boy, they took down some big pines. Good for them. Because if they would have fell, they'd have wiped that house out. No, here we are. We're on Up River Road. Now we're going to head on back to the old downtown section, where we'll hook a left, head her back across old Benjamin Fitzpatrick Bridge, and get back on God's side of Tallahassee. You know, East Tallahassee, where everything's a little cheaper. Used to be a little slower and a little kinder. Not so much these days. But I hope y'all can hear me well. I never know about the road noise. Different roads, different road noise. And now maybe some of you just mute it. Don't want to hear old Mr. Tom ramble. And just enjoy the scenery. Of course, then some of you, yeah, I'm sure, figure out where I'm going and you skip through, and I don't want to see him pick up no darn pizza. I'm out of here. And that's fine too. I'm going to tell you what. We are now in pollen overload. Yes, we are. Every type of tree that there has been, is, or was, is now blooming and dispelling its pollen. Thank God we had that little bit of rain. That cleaned the air out. And we're going to go ahead here and go across the little portion of the lake here, you know. I truly love how those azaleas look. Boy, when I had them around the house, I thought I was going to die. And I'd get rid of them. And that was years and years ago. And it took a while to finally kill them all off. Ooh, that pecan there is coming out. Looking beautiful. Here we are coming in the backside into what used to be our downtown district. Now we call it the historic district. We got one there, Contraband Barbecue. It's a new little barbecue restaurant. I gotta give them a call and check them out. I hear it's real tasty, even though I bet it's no match for old Mr. Tom's barbecue. And that's something I was going to do a throwdown about, and that was with Les over there. You know, he's over there at the Lone Star Pioneer, and Regan over there at Sunboy Prepper. And I'll even do this for Michael up there at the, what is it, Frog Foot Holler. We all do our best pulled pork barbecue. Yep. Let's do barbecue throwdown. That'll be, you know, old Mr. Tom here in Alabama, master chef, against Les down there in Texas. You know, those boys down there think they know all about barbecue. Now I'm talking pulled pork, not beef. Then of course Louisiana. And then I think Michael up there, probably Holler. I think he's in the Carolinas. I can't remember, I'm getting old. So, between, you know, all of us, each of us do a video on our favorite pulled pork barbecue recipe, start to finish. Now the rule should be you can't have Teresa helping Les. He's got to do his own, or Kelly helping Regan, or Zoe. Regan, you got to keep Zoe out or none of us got a chance. And of course I'm thinking Michael, he'd probably be doing some of that there in North Carolina or Carolina pulled pork with some of that vinegar based sauce, which I truly love. And most of y'all know, my parents, as well as the rest of my family, when they retired, moved up to North Carolina. Moved up there just to outside Nashville. Or not Nashville, that's in Tennessee, Asheville. Yep. Yep, out there, sort of kind of around the biggest place would be Fletcher, North Carolina. Can't remember the little burg they were in. They weren't actually in Fletcher, they were outside of it. But as always, I like to drive back through the neighborhoods, see how everybody's doing, see what's all greening up. I try to peek in people's backyard, see if anybody's gardening. But even now, there ain't much gardening. Of course, granted, most of us getting so old, and a lot of these folks are older than I, they just ain't got it in them anymore. And then they're down to just themselves, or themselves and their spouse. They don't consume a lot. And see, that's my problem with gardening. My desire to garden, because I enjoy it, my eyes when I go buying stuff to garden and all that, far, far, far bigger than my needs. That's why I say, for me, 4 tomato plants is probably plenty, because I'm not going to can. Not this year. Not that I couldn't. Not going to make sauce. Not that I couldn't. But I have enough. Lord knows I have more than enough. I got cans of it that are 6.6 pounds. So when I open one to use it, I got to figure out a way to store it, which means, you know, for me, I tend to freeze anything I don't use within the first week. I don't recan because you're cooking it twice. So whatever nutritional value it has, and you got to think about this. When you recan something that come out of a can, Okay, if you're gonna say the nutritional value is already lower, then you're gonna heat it all up again, cook it again. Well, guess what? That nutritional value is going downhill, not uphill, folks. I'm just saying. Oh, my nose is getting away from me. So yeah, here, since I'm by myself, I tend to put way too much in, and y'all all know, if you've been watching my garden videos, I don't put all that much. But I do harvest quite a bit from what little bit I put in. And that creates a problem. And then I got to come up with a way to preserve it. And sometimes I just don't feel like it. So there's waste. And of course I see, you know, on YouTube and other social media platforms, you know, they raise a whole bunch of stuff. They don't use hardly near enough of it. Of course, then they're dragging it out to the chickens and the pigs and whatever and go, oh yeah, look at here, free food. Oh, that wasn't free. And when you really think about it, that food would have been far better in keeping them going than it is in keeping their animals going. Now granted, if you got animals that you can feed it to, well, at least it's not 100% loss. But it is not the same as you eating it, if you want to be truthful about the matter. And yeah, chicken will eat anything you throw at it. Not much on onion and garlic. And if you lay down, fall asleep, and become comatose in the chicken pen, they'll eat you. Starting with your softer parts like your eyeballs, you know, nose, such thing. I'm just saying. You know, I worry about Les and Regan. Don't worry about Michael so much over Frog Foot Holler, because he's only got, I think, 3. He's a big boy, so I don't think they're gonna bother him. But Les has got an army of chickens. And so does Regan. I'm still waiting to see one of them butcher up on one of them roosters and show us a fine chicken dinner, like, you know, maybe barbecued, rotisserie, or chicken and dumplings, chicken noodle super stew. You know, don't you think that'd be a good thing? But it's just like they all admit, they love their chickens and they get their eggs, they like watching them, and they're just, you know, have become pets to them. And I can understand all that. Well, you can see we're back in the neighborhood, and that, you know, my chicken coop is at Superfoods. And last time I went and picked up eggs, yeah, eggs have went up. And if you look back on my shopping videos, you'll see that. Oh, they're getting that house remodeled. Good. Maybe it's a young couple moving in, because a lot of that's been happening in the old neighborhood. And I'm glad to see it, because they're buying up these rentals. But we back here on Old Monroe, and road's starting to dry off. Maybe the rain's passed. I'll have to check that weather radar. Birds are singing again. I'm sure the kitty crew will be happy to see Papa, as will Gracie and Trixie. And of course, they're going to have some pepperoni. Yes, they will. And I've got to head on in, eat a few slices myself. And there went Speedy. She's laying on the mower now. She went on and run off underneath the holly bushes. So, y'all unbuckle. There's enough here to share. You know, I may have to cut it up into thinner pieces, y'all unbuckle and everything, come on over. And y'all can sit and stay in the dining room and kitchen, and I'll get some paper plates, and we'll just cut it as thin as we need to so all of y'all can enjoy a slice, okay? So come on in, let me show you what we got. Spooky, can you smell that pizza? Can you? Now, you're just going to have to wait till I get in the house and pick you off some pepperonis, okay? Let me out of the car. You hear me? Okay, I know car's dirty, we got to clean that up one day too. Okay, hold on. I got to get out. Come on. Woo, look at that bad boy. Now think about that. Now this ain't a thin crust. This is their classic. I prefer the thin, but I'm happy with it. Look at that. Plenty of cheese, pepperonis. Woo, it's going to be good. And guess who's here waiting on hers? Trix. Did you smell the classic Little Caesars too? My Lord. Spooky did. God tried to get up on the car and attack it. Okay, Papa will be picking out some pepperonis. Now, you saw Spooky. As soon as I opened the door, he's ready to climb up on there and get his. So I'll have to get Trixie's. She's still pacing. She can smell it. She can't see it, but she knows. And there's pepperoni in the house. And I'm sure if Gracie wasn't asleep on the love seat, she'd be right in here too. So y'all, there you have it. We're going to go ahead and get us a couple of slices. Of course, now I take a pizza cutter and even cut these in half. Now I'm going to pick off some pepperoni for my little Trix, Gracie and Spooky and Speedy and Cleo. Then I'll just have cheese pizza. But life is good. And then once that digests a bit, you may watch a YouTube video or two. I'll then hammer out final version of my taxes, get that OE filed, and of course pay money. And even though I just don't understand that every year how a little old single man that don't make much still got to pay. Of course, I don't got no debt. Don't got anything. No dependents, no nothing. And guess who they hit the worst? Us little poor folk, single people and seniors. I'll bet y'all suffer the same. And guess who else is here? Gracie. Did you wake up when you were smelling that there pepperoni? Did you? Well, I ain't got it down yet. Give me a break. Spooky's waiting at the door. And I'm sure he's done went and got Speedy and Cleo. Okay. Yep, I better get going at it, folks. So, until old Mr. Tom sees you on the next video, and of course, Gracie, Trixie, Spooky, Cleo, Speedy, and sometimes Magoo and Elrod, y'all take care out there. Stay safe. God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye for now. Okay, I'm going to go get the plates. We're about ready to jump on into it, okay? You good with that there, Gracie? You ready to dive on in, huh? I don't know, have you had pepperoni yet or not? No? You're about to experience heaven. Trust me. You're going to be loving it. Yep. Get stretched out. It'll be great. I'm telling you. Trust me on this one.